Welcome back to another reading vlog. Today we are going to be doing a summary anticipated reads vlog. That's what we're doing today. So I have two books here that I recently purchased that are like newer release books. So let me pull them out. Here is my bookshelf. Here are the two books I'm going to be reading in today's reading vlog. We have Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. And then we have Funny Story by Emily Henry. I have read, I think at this point, all of Emily Henry's books except People We Meet on Vacation. So I'm really excited to read these books. I am a huge Emily Henry fan. Emily Henry is probably one of my favorite authors. And just the second book, Abby Jimenez, is a new up-and-coming, like I've heard people talk about her more recently. These are both two like summary romance books. I think this is summary. In my head, Emily Henry is a summer author, but I don't know if this actually takes place during the summer, but I know this one does. So we're gonna be reading these two in today's reading vlog, and it's gonna be an anticipated reads summer vlog kind of thing. I don't know which one I want to start with, honestly. I kind of want to start with Just for the Summer, actually. I don't know why. I do, but I want to start with this one. Basically, these two people, I think it's like a fake dating kind of thing. I don't know if it's necessarily fake dating, but basically these two people were like, oh my gosh, every time I date somebody, they end up like meeting their person right after me. And then the other person is like, oh my gosh, me too. And they're like, hey, let's get together and date each other so then we'll meet our person. So that's what they're doing in this book. They're gonna like fake date, not fake dating, but they're gonna like date, and then right after they're gonna break up and they're gonna meet their person. But it's a romance book, so we both know their person, they've already met them. So, update time. I'm pretty far into this book. I'm not gonna lie, I have not filmed much because I don't know if you guys can tell a little bit, but I am a little bit sick. So I've been kind of just laying in bed and reading and not really feeling motivated to do much else. But I think I have a lot to update you guys on. Let me show you guys. I don't know if you guys can tell with the annotation tabs because they're very like thin and like they're pastel kind of colored, so they're not super vibrant. But I have been annotating this book. I am currently on page 300 of 400, I think. So I have like 100 pages left, and I can tell you guys a little bit more about this book. I told you guys the premise of the story, so now I can kind of just go into more detail. One of the things that I really have liked about this book so far is that I think sometimes with romance books, the characters can be a little bit like insufferable, but with this book, the characters actually have a lot of depth to them, and these characters are like equally likable, but they have depth for they actually have genuine reasons for why there's this like will they won't they kind of tension throughout the book, because these characters have a lot of trauma and past and life situations that kind of cause a conflict in their relationship, which has honestly been really refreshing to read about. I think that's the best way I would describe this book, is like refreshing. And even though these characters have a lot of depth and trauma and things that they are working on, it's still very like light and fluffy rom-com, which I really appreciate the balance that Abby Jimenez has created in this book. But we have the main character, Emma, and I would say that if Emma was a song, it would be the song The Bolter by Taylor Swift. And then we have the male love interest, Justin, and his song would be The Prophecy by Taylor Swift. If you guys know those songs, then I feel like you got a glimpse in on what's going on with these characters. Another dynamic that kind of takes place in this book is these people's relationships like with their parents and their families. So if you guys have ever seen the show The Maid, or even possibly like Shameless, I would say the kind of relationship that these characters have with their like families is similar to the family relationships in The Maid or in Shameless. But obviously this is like a fluffy romance version. I think that's all I had to say. So I will get back to reading, and I'll probably see you guys again when I've finished Just for the Summer. So I officially finished Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. So this is what my annotations ended up looking like. I hope you could see that. But anyways, I think the last time I spoke to you, I might have had like 100 pages left of this book. I'm not totally sure, but I think right after I filmed my last clip, I got to like a plot twist in the book, which is kind of just unexpected for a like rom-com. Like a really good plot twist that like kind of helped or aided the like third act conflict. And I think that this book just did a really good job at making the plot actually cause conflict between the two characters instead of it being like the characters causing their own conflict for no reason. And like I said earlier, this book is just refreshing with the reasons, like with the plot and everything, because it makes sense, and it almost makes you like happy that they were like that, like for the main characters to do what they did. I was like, yes, you need to do that. Like you need to figure that out. Like you need to figure your life out. I feel like people were saying, oh, you should read the other two books in Abby Jimenez's little like interconnected standalone books that she has. So she has Part of Your World and Yours Truly. And I had read Yours Truly like a couple months ago, and some of the characters from Part of Your World were in Yours Truly, and so I was like, it's fine, I don't need to read them to get to this one. But after finishing this book, something happens in the end, and I'm like, ooh, I feel like if I read Part of Your World, I would have some more context to what's going on. I did really like this book, but I did give it, I think, like a 4-star, maybe a little bit more than a 4-star. It was really good, but it just wasn't necessarily like a 5-star for me. I still really did like this book, and I really recommend it, and it's definitely perfect summer vibes. So yeah, now it is time to read Funny Story by Emily Henry. I am so excited for this because Emily Henry is like my favorite author, and I've read pretty much all of her books except this one. I have started this book. I'm only like 20 pages in, so I don't really have much thoughts yet about this book. If you guys don't know what the premise of the story, it's a funny story because these two characters, they had other significant others, and their significant others cheated on them with each other, and then they kind of like ran away together, and now these two are like, what do we do? So then they moved in together. So the book kind of starts out with them at their like lowest point. Like they're very much like in their like heartbreak era, which is kind of interesting to like see a perspective on two people who are just like kind of down. They're kind of down bad. So that's what's going on with this book, and that's all I have to say as of right now. So I'll update you guys some other time. Hey guys, so I have an update on Funny Story. I got pretty far into this book. I'm quite far into this book. This is what my annotations are looking like. If anyone's curious if you can see that. I feel like I tried to show you guys my annotations and you can't really see them. But yeah, I'm about, let's see, I'm 280 pages into this book, so I'm over halfway. I think Goodreads said I'm like 70% through. So I've powered through this book without talking to you guys. What should I say about this book? It's an Emily Henry book. It's another Emily Henry success for me. I have been enjoying it immensely at the moment. I have to say, the best way I can describe this book is if you take my favorite parts of Beach Read and my favorite parts of Happy Place and like put them together, that is this book. Because I feel like with Beach Read, I really loved the romance of Beach Read, but in Happy Place, I loved the writing. Like I just feel like there was something special about Happy Place writing that I feel like I'm getting in Funny Story as well. I feel like for me, I heard a lot of people say that they didn't really like the male love interest or like they weren't attracted to him, but I really enjoy Miles. I feel like he's like a fun, outgoing, chill kind of guy, which I feel sometimes is refreshing for me. Like I wouldn't say he's a grumpy kind of guy. Like a lot of people are saying they remind people of Nick from New Girl, but in my opinion, Miles isn't really grumpy. I feel like neither of them are grumpy, but Daphne's definitely a little bit more antisocial, and she's this like cutesy little librarian who is just kind of, you know, doesn't have any social life. And then Miles here is the one who knows all about the town. So I really like how in this book, Miles is kind of showing her around the town and showing her that maybe this could be a permanent living place for her. So yeah, I think this is feeling like a 5-star probably. We will see. It's giving 5-star feeling, which is exciting. Hi guys. So, I just got back, or last night was the Guts tour. And so today I'm just drained. I'm gonna have a lazy chill day and I am about to finally finish Funny Story. This is how much I have left. I have like 80 pages, like under 100 pages left. And I'm about to just chill out and do nothing for the entire day except finish this book. I read a little bit since I last talked to you guys. I wanted to talk about it just a little bit because I think I got to like just my favorite part of the book. And I literally wrote in the book, let me find it. I literally wrote, "This is why I love Emily Henry," followed by 5 stars. So I feel like that should summarize how I'm feeling about this book. Hi guys, so I finally finished Funny Story by Emily Henry, and is anyone gonna be shocked that I gave this book a 5-star? I don't think so. Here are my tabs. Oh, they came out so beautiful. I had such a wonderful time reading this book. I was kind of unsure of how I would feel because some people didn't give this book a 5-star, and I loved it. Just like all of Emily Henry's other books, they're top hits for me. This one specifically though, I'm even tempted to say, we'll have to see. We'll have to like sit with it a little bit longer, but it might be my favorite Emily Henry. I feel like one of the things that I really liked about Daphne's character is that she had this kind of like subplot in the book about feeling like she molds herself to fit like what her partner wants, in a sense. Like in the beginning of the book with her last boyfriend, she really liked him because he was stable, which is what she thought she wanted in a relationship. But when they broke up, she realized in this relationship she didn't have anything that was her own. She just molded herself into the person that this guy and his friends wanted her to be. And then when they broke up, it was like she had no friends, she had no house, she had nothing of her own, which I feel like is a really modern day struggle with a lot of women, is like feeling like, what is it that I have in like what is my own, which I feel like was something that really stuck with me with this book. And I just loved the characters of Miles and Daphne, and I loved the story. So yeah, 5 stars, 5 stars. So to recap, this video was like reading my my anticipated reads. So I read Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez and Funny Story by Emily Henry. Abby Jimenez, this one, Just for the Summer, I think was like, I think I said a 4.5, 4. I think it was a 4.5. It wasn't quite a 5-star. Their romance was just so a little too fast for me. While this one to me was like a slow burn. Probably one of the most slow burns in the Emily Henry book. Like they were very, what's the word, like skeptical about getting into a relationship, and I actually really liked that in this book versus that book, this one. But yeah, absolutely loved both of these books. 4.5, 5. These are some of my most anticipated reads of the year and some of my top favorite authors. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.